Ashleigh McIvor started skiing down her parents' carpeted steps when she was 2 years old. It wasn't long before she was jumping moguls and racing down black diamonds. She is a Whistler girl, an elite athlete who brought home gold in the 2010 Games, and she continues to give back to her community. It is my pleasure to welcome Ashleigh McIvor to Studio 4 to tell us more. Nice to see you.
You too. Very nice to see you. A little better than the last time I had a visit with you.
We did a fashion show together for ovarian cancer, good fundraiser, and I'm certainly not a professional model. You look more professional model than I do, but you had just had an operation on your foot, and they were trying to...
I had my knee operated on the day before that.
Knee.
Yeah, and I actually ended up having to take a few steps on my freshly surgerized knee, which was...
Right.
I don't know that that was very smart. But.
No, and I'm sure your orthopedic surgeon was thinking, what is she doing?
Yeah,
but all for a good cause.
I did tell him. Yeah, and I mean, it was, my friend Heather lost her mom to ovarian cancer 5 or 6 years ago, and she's the one who asked me to be part of that show,
Right.
and I kind of felt like if she could deal with going through that, I could deal with a little bit of pain on my knee.
I'm sure. Well, it was fun for us to watch the dressers try to get you into your dress. And of course, you couldn't wear one shoe because you had...
I just refused to wear the shoes.
And then there were those firefighters that took us down the stairs. That was nice.
That was helpful, for sure.
That was hopeful. So first time on a ski slope, do you recall it all? How
No,
old
but
were
I
you?
do have memories of being between my parents would sort of snowplow, and I would be snowplowing in between their legs, holding onto poles, like their
Right.
poles across their knees. So I was so little that I was probably I don't know, maybe 3 or 4.
Probably 3 or 4. That's about right. Because and if one of your parents isn't a very good skier, the other one always takes you because you don't want to fall out of your snowplow onto your child or something like that. It was the day when
both very good though.
I know, you know, when they taught snowplow, and then you did learn to stem turn, and then finally you got to parallel, and now they don't even bother with that. I don't think.
I don't even know.
I don't know. You're beyond that. When did you know this was for you, this racing thing?
Well, I grew up racing alpine, like traditional alpine ski racing in Whistler. And
Downhill slalom.
Yeah. And I actually hurt myself. I broke my leg when I was 16 doing that, and I was just kind of at the point where I wasn't really having fun with it anymore. And I skied powder for a couple of years, and then the sport of ski cross kind of presented itself. It's a new sport, and it was kind of like I was made for that sport, having grown up in Whistler and done that racing, but also been so passionate about exploring the whole mountain and skiing in the backcountry and hitting cliffs and jumps.
Sure, doing a little jumping. You mean when you're not supposed to
I have a bit
jump?
of a wild side.
I know, when there's other people and the ski patrol says, do not go off that jump.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that sounds way more appealing now that they said that.
Exactly. For somebody who lives under a rock, what is ski cross?
Ski cross is a downhill ski race with 4 of us racing head-to-head. Actually 6 of us at the X Games, but 4 in the Olympics and on the World Cup circuit. It's kind of like motocross on skis. Big jumps, bank turns, and very high intensity, lots of action. It's a great spectator sport.
And first year, it's been an Olympic sport.
It was the Olympic debut in 2010.
I know, and that's always a struggle, as you know, to get a sport into the Olympics. Ask the women jumpers.
Yeah, and they're in now.
I know, that finally.
The thing about ski cross is it is just it's another discipline of freestyle skiing, alpine skiing if you're Canadian, but it's part of freestyle skiing in the Olympics. And so that makes it a little bit easier. And we met a whole bunch of criteria that are required to become an Olympic sport. We hosted several world championships with a certain number of competitors from a certain number of countries, and it was time.
I go back to the days when freestyle wasn't in the Olympics. People didn't even know what it was, and somebody said, "Well, look at that boy ski those moguls. That should be an Olympic sport." They go, "No, no, just back to the same old." How many injuries have you had? Do you count?
Yeah, I've had a lot of injuries. I've had surgery on both knees, both shoulders, and it's all just kind of part of the game. And in my opinion, it's worth the risk. For the most part, it makes me healthier and happier being out there and being active and participating in these sports. And it's all just part of it. And as long as I don't have a head injury or a spinal injury, it's relatively speaking not a big deal, and it'll
you can
heal
still walk and talk. We like that.
Yeah.
Weather dependent. When the weather changes, ski cross event. How do you adapt? I know you don't wax anymore or do that kind of thing.
Oh, no, but that's huge. Like, our ski techs were all over that during the Olympics. My skis were really fast. But I kind of like fed off how bad the weather was in the Olympics here, because I grew up in Whistler. I'm used to it. We have some of the best skiing in the world because we have the best snow in the world because it's snowing all the time.
Exactly.
It's stormy.
And sometimes you can't see.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't see. And I know that affected the other girls more than it affected me. I'm okay with skiing in the fog and in the snow. So.
But that's a big transition, because I learned to ski in the Rockies, and we don't have fog in the Rockies very often.
No.
We have a lot of snow, but not fog. And the first time I skied Whistler, I thought, I have to go down on the lift. I'm going to hit a tower.
Whistler. You can ski in the trees when it gets foggy.
Yeah, well, you can.
Good depth perception.
If you can ski in the trees. But if you can't ski in the trees and you have to stay on the slope, you think, well, hope I live.
It makes for much more stable snowpack, though.
You
I
bet.
love it.
Who coached you?
Who
along
coached
the way?
me? Everybody in that community. That's the beauty of Whistler. My mom always says it takes a community to raise a child, and it's just such a tight-knit little town, and I had such amazing coaches. All the best skiers in the world want to go to Whistler, and so we were fortunate.
Sure, but Rob Boyd give you some advice, that kind of thing, or did you have a specific? I don't know how technical it is anymore. Do you have somebody who specifically works with you?
Yeah, there were just so many of them as I went through the different age groups and in the whole process. So I can't even, I start naming them because then I would miss some.
Exactly. When you tap into the feeling of winning the gold, what runs through your body? What was it like?
I don't know. It was so surreal. It's like all a bit of a blur to me. And I honestly, speaking about all the coaches I've had and all the support I had from the community of Whistler, it was almost like more a sense of relief when I crossed the finish line, that I hadn't let all those people down. Like, so many people had put so much into it. I mean, obviously I was super happy, but it was more just sort of like, okay, phew, I did it.
Oh, phew, I did it. Because as you know, the strangest things can happen. The best skier can take a tumble.
For sure. And I took a tumble this past season and blew my knee.
How is it now?
It's getting there. It's a lot slower to heal this time around. I had already torn this ACL in the past. And so I guess it's pretty common for it to take longer the second time. But I mean, now the next goal is the next Olympics, and that's the priority for me. So I'm just working on rehabilitating my knee, and this season's actually going to be a good year to sort of ease back into it.
Okay, do you do World Cup events? How does it work?
Yeah, we have a full World Cup circuit every season, and we have World Championships every 2 years. And so fortunately for me, this is not a World Championships year, and it's not an Olympic year, obviously.
Right.
So it was actually a relatively good time to hurt myself. And I'll be home more this season, so I'll be able to do more stuff with my sponsors and actually ski at Whistler, ski at home, and then just sort of pick and choose my races, and then go for it for next season. Try and get a result at World Championships and qualify for the Olympic team for Russia.
Let's hope. And of course,
my body will hold
and
together.
you'll have to bring home another gold, I think, in the summer. Plan to?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
In summer, when you have to kind of reignite the passion, what do you do? Do you?
I don't ski.
I don't ski.
I ride my downhill bike.
Downhill bike. I bet you
dirt
do.
Bike, and that's been tough this year. I couldn't really do much of that because my knee is still vulnerable. But I've been cross country mountain biking a lot. We just did a big float plane drop.
Jumping.
North of Whistler in the Chilcotins.
Really?
And,
what do you mean a float plane drop?
So we drove up into the mountains a couple of hours, and then our friend at Tayax Air dropped us, took us with our bikes in a float plane.
Okay, he didn't drop you out of the plane. When you said float plane drop, I thought, no, you're not
okay, he
parachuting
dropped us off in a float
plane. So you were
on this lake 50 kilometers up in the
fabulous.
mountains. And then
So rugged country. And do you have any bear encounters or anything when you're up there?
When we were
without a warden by your side?
when we were halfway down, we ran into a group that had just come up the trail we were about to ride, and they had just seen a mama and 3 grizzly cubs.
Ooh, great.
So, but we didn't get to see them.
No. Well, that's probably good.
Okay. I'd prefer to see those from like a vehicle or maybe from a float plane.
Yeah, me too. Or with a bear biologist beside me who says, the grizzly doesn't seem to be that upset that you're here.
Right.
That's always good. So let's talk about shoes. Tell me about this celebrity shoe campaign. how you got involved, why you got involved, and what this shoe means.
Well, I was asked to be a part of it, I'm guessing, because of the Ovarian Cancer Canada fundraiser you and I did together.
Probably, but also because you're a world champion, an Olympian.
Right,
And
that's
beautiful,
how I was on their radar.
and all of that, and talented, and an elite athlete.
Well, and I think that's kind of what I was going for with the shoe. Like, I wanted it to be, I have like the lace on it, and then some bits where we spray painted over the lace. My friend Shirai helped me. My friend Shirai, and was
Are you an artist?
I'm a bit of an artist.
Everybody's an artist,
yeah.
but you know, so somebody's allowed to help is the point.
Yes.
So different celebrities can get help.
Yeah, well, and I didn't have the materials. My friend Shirai's always decorating different things and coming up with funky outfits. So I knew she'd have the resources to make it look the way we wanted it to. And I kind of wanted, like, I like the lace because it's kind of like a racy side to the, but still with a feminine touch.
Very camp. When you got the shoe, what was it?
It was just plain. It was actually silver, I think. We spray painted it gold. Just
okay, of course you did, because you had to. And then this, well, it's kind of snow-like crystals.
Yeah, like kind of like ice crystals, and it just kind of goes with like all the different campaigns my different sponsors are using these days.
That's
like
the best part.
Like
you don't have to wear this shoe. That's not the point.
No.
This is an object, a beautiful object to put on your counter. So they're doing an online auction, is my understanding, stuartweitzman.ca, and different celebrities, Jeannie Becker for one. She did one with her daughter. It's called Fairy Tales, or her daughter's in a fairy tale, so her daughter helped her kind of put it together, and I haven't seen it, but I hear that's what it is. Cheryl Hickey, E.T., Rick Campanelli, Emily Van Camp. She did a word nerd. Emily Van Camp did a word nerd shoe. I guess she likes crosswords.
I think.
Is that what it is?
Crossword clippings then, yeah.
Yeah, because she was on Brothers and Sisters. Do you know any of the people that are involved with this, or it's like cross country?
Not really, and they were just asking me if I had any Olympian friends in Montreal that would like to be involved. So
really, so
if anybody can think of any, maybe refer them to.
Right.
I said Joanie Rochette, but I don't know what she's up to these days. She's a busy girl.
I'm sure. So what do? You put it together, and then as somebody who would like this shoe, you just bid online? Is that how it works?
Yeah, on the website, I think that will be shown on the screen, Stuart Weitzman.
Right, it will be, yes. It's stuartweitzman.ca, so you can go and put a bid in on one of the celebrity shoes, and in the end, if you win, you get the shoe.
That's right.
How great. I'm so, did your parents teach you to give back this much and be part of the community?
My parents have always been, very active in the community, and my dad sat on the board for developing the youth center in that Millennium Place, that multi-faith chapel in Whistler.
Sure.
My mom's basically started the food bank in Whistler, and it's just kind of.
So you were raised to give back.
Yeah, and it's.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger sister, and she's like the environmentalist of the family. She's actually just starting a 12-month intensive MBA program at SFU.
How great!
She just finished up a double major in environmental studies and political sciences.
How great! Does she ski?
She skis. She's a shredder.
How could you live? How could you live at Whistler and not ski? Rumor has it there's somebody in the soccer world in your life.
Yeah.
Is this true?
It's been fun.
So it's not a rumor?
No.
Tell me about him.
He's awesome, and he's seeing the best of what BC has to offer. We've been like running around doing all sorts of fun things in any of his spare time because it's. Oh, that's a cute picture.
Jay Demerit. He's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's obviously in season right now. We're gonna go watch him on Saturday at the game here.
Oh, great.
Everybody should come.
Cute.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. Let's go watch soccer games, ladies. Good
exactly.
times.
It's time. Did you play soccer?
No.
As a kid? No time.
No, not much. I was always about the adrenaline sports and like going fast downhill.
I get it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashleigh McIvor, Olympian gold medal winner.